guys, I am Jay Dugard, CEO of Affiliated Entertainment, also the writer of Kushma, Fila a la Cassette, Book 1, Voodoo Bayou, and much more to come. Thank you all for attending our very first book signing. But guess what? I have a special guest for you. Come on in.
Hey. Thank you for all being here. My name is Paul Infante, and I'm just glad that y'all are all here to be at the book signing. I'm an actor. I've done multiple things in the media industry, and now I'm on the cover of a book called Kushma because I play Kushma. But then again, thank you for being here, and we're glad to have y'all all here at the book signing today.
You ready to go sign?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
So, Jessica, why Kushma?
Good question. Kushma. Well, when I was coming up, we always heard about Kushma, especially at the card games. Every Friday, our parents would meet up. They would play cards, and they would tell us, if you don't go to bed, Kushma's gonna get you. And as a child, we were petrified because we didn't know who he was, but we knew that it was something that was gonna come and get us. So when I got older, I said, I wanna know where he comes from. So I asked everybody, and I always got the answer, that's the devil, or you don't talk about him. So what I did was I decided to give him an origin because I just wanted to know where did you come from? So that's why Kushma.
Okay, what gave you the inspiration to write the book?
Whew. Well, COVID came, and being that I was a playwright, a screenwriter, I needed another form of creativity. So I spoke to Paul, and I was like, what can I do? Because we don't want this character to die. And of course, we were getting ready to start filming Kushma. And he was like, well, do something, let's keep it alive. And so I sat there and I said, well, I'm gonna write a book. And so I sat and I wrote the book, and that was our way of, being a creative person, and you can't get out on stage and you can't go and do what you wanna do. You find another means to create, and that's how
It was still another way to interact with our the people that wanted to see the movie.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
now that we have the book form, it's now in the palm of your hand that you can get it now. So that was another form that we did.
Yeah.
Because COVID, of course, ruined everything, but
Yeah.
we're getting back to it.
Yeah.
Concerning the characters, are they loosely based on real life or totally fictional?
No, they're loosely based on real life. What I did was I grew up in Cameron, Louisiana. And so you'll see some of the characters, they're basically my cousins, my brother's names, neighbors. The grocery store, Pete, is where I actually remember going to the grocery store. And I felt that to be important because I want to keep that Creole feel alive and that childhood, nostalgia alive. So now Kushma, like you said, some people will say that's based on a true character because it's a Louisiana folklore. They do believe that he is real. Some people will tell you, I remember when he got me. He rode my back. I remember, I was told that he was real. So I guess if you want to say it, yeah, Kushma is based on a real character.
Very good. What are the future plans with this project?
Well, Paul, you want to take that one?
Well, the plans we have is, we want this book to go good with the number sales for sure. And the ultimate goal that we're trying to do is make this into a feature film. We want to go big. We want a big budget with this movie. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do this in a movie format. We want this to be a household name where, there's part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. We can go a long way. That's what we're trying to do with this, and I feel like if we get a good amount of a buzz on this, and people, from what we are already hearing, they like this book, I think it's going to be real possible that we're going to make it happen. So, making it into a movie, absolutely, that's the future road and the goal we're looking at for this project.
And I actually have our graphics designer working out a deal where we're going to do a comic book with Kushma. I'm trying to reach every aspect. There are people that read, and there are people that love comic books. There are people that love film. We want to make sure, like Paul said, that he is a household name. He already is in Louisiana, but we need to get it out there, further along. And basically, it's to keep that Creole heritage alive, and just so everyone can know, you know, keep that on, keep it going
Yeah.
on. The boogeyman.
There you go.
So,
Get a little scary every now and then here and there.
yeah.
Now, Jessica, Paul, how long have you been working together?
2017.
Yeah.
2017, I had an audition for Kushma. Actually, he called me first. Well, he sent his resume in, and I saw his picture, and I said, "Oh, I hope he can act, because he looks the part." So it's like, we talked on the phone, and I realized that he was living in Houston. I'm like, "Oh, okay, you willing to travel?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm gonna come." So he came, and he auditioned, and excellent. So it was 2017.
2017, I think I was doing a play that weekend. I called before the day of the play to confirm the audition for the next day, so I could be there to audition. So it was like back and forth as far as like me working in the acting industry. You gotta be hungry and steady. So that's what happened. When I auditioned for the character, I did it, and well, you give it to me on the spot. Yeah, pretty much on the spot. And I was like, all right. So pretty much since 2017, we've been working together on this project and other projects as well, but yeah, so that's a long ass time.
Yeah, long time. No, a long time, and we've formed a family, you know, instead of just, you know, and that's what Affiliated is about for my other affiliated, you know, team members who I love dearly. But Paul has come in, and like I said, he does a lot of film, and so he introduced me to another level, and I do a lot of theater, so we kind of just put our knowledge together and started working that way. And he's been with us since, like I said, 2017. That's a long time.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay, tell me about your other book, Phil à la Cassette.
Fila à la cassette. In French translation, that is The Casket Girls. What I'm doing is I'm writing a lot of Louisiana folklore books. And if you can tell, these are little short stories. Fila à la cassette is based on another folklore like Kushma, and it's about the Casket Girls. And they were based off of a story in New Orleans. This is where vampires originated. I think if you saw the originals, they had an episode called, you know, The Casket Girls. I think New Orleans even has a parade about the Casket Girls. So what I did again, I based this stuff on some fictional characters, and I kind of just gave them life. That's what I'm doing. I also did Voodoo Bayou, another folklore. And Voodoo Bayou is like a little Louisiana Bermuda Triangle. I'm gonna be working on something soon. I'll let that come out next. But I wanna keep all of the Louisiana folklores. I spoke to my grandfather who was 91, and he told me something really important the other day. He said, you have to write down our stories so that the generation can keep them, you know, coming, and it'll keep going and doesn't die out. And that's very important. So that's why I'm writing it, so no one can take it away from us. So.
Where can anyone interested obtain these books? Where can we buy them?
You can contact me at affiliatentertainment@gmail.com, or you can go to Amazon, and they are ready for purchase. Go to Amazon and you type in J. Dugarf, Kushma, Fila à la Cassette, Voodoo Bayou, and Amazon. They are ready, actually. So you can just go there. You know.
And I hear you have other book signings coming up. Where would that be?
Yes, I have one in Crowley, March 26th. I have, and that's at the Vanilla Bean Coffee Shop. I have one April 2nd at Cité des Arts in Lafayette. That's where Mr. Monty Ross, who is director and film producer, also worked with Spike Lee. He's going to be there virtually to answer some questions about the upcoming film Kushma, and you know, him being a mentor to Affiliated Entertainment. So that's our update, our dates that's coming up.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to be reading chapter 4, Salt on the Window. Here we go. I opened my eyes and I realized immediately that I was in bed. The noise from the ceiling fan had woke me up. I looked around the room and all of my other cousins were still asleep. I asked myself, how did we get in bed? What was that stuff Grandma blew in our face? And what was Uncle Nick talking about? Tonight went from a simple fish fry to a scene in the Twilight Zone. I heard a scratchy noise coming from the window. I was too afraid to look. I shook Charlotte. Wake up, I said as I shoved her. She grunted, what? I'm tired. "Wake up, something is outside the window," I told her. She started to get up. She rubbed the sleep off her eyes and said, "How did we get in bed?" "I don't know, but do you hear that noise?" I asked her. "Yes, what is that? It sounds like a cat scratching." She answered, "It's coming from the window. Maybe we should go check it out." "I'm not moving out of this bed," I replied. "What if it's him?" asked Charlotte. "That's all the more reason not to get out of this bed," I answered. "What's going on?" asked Junior as he started to get up. "Shh, we hear a noise," said Charlotte. "How did we get in bed?" asked Junior. "Still trying to figure that out," I answered, and I leaned closer to the window. "Right now, we're trying to figure out what that noise is coming from the window." Charlotte and Junior started to get out of bed. Michelle, Betsy, and Savannah were still asleep. I could hear my heart beating, making a loud thumping sound as I saw my cousins walk towards the window. Junior grabbed the broom that was in the corner. I was still determined not to leave the safety of my bed and blanket. The noise kept getting louder and louder. As they got closer to the window, it seemed as though the noise kept growing louder and louder. The scratching seemed to speed up. My heartbeat was also getting louder. Junior mentioned to Charlotte that he was going to open the curtains. She nodded. They both took a breath, and Junior opened it. My jaws were stuck. I couldn't scream. I wanted to, but it was as if I was paralyzed. On the other side of that window was an old man in an old dirty white suit and a black hat with long fingernails and long yellow teeth, counting what looked to be salt on the window pane. Junior was frozen with fear. The old man was so busy counting the salt, he didn't even notice them at the window. Charlotte was pointing at him as she couldn't scream. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, came a loud scream. Savannah had woke up and looked towards the window and saw him. Once Savannah screamed, the Kushmal stopped counting the salt and tilted his head to the left and looked at us with a death glare. He was reaching his hand towards the window when my door swung open and the light turned on and Grandma rushed to the window and pulled back Junior and Charlotte and closed the curtain. All the adults came running in. Junior was frozen in fear. The Kushmal looked at the adults. Grandmother went towards the window and said something in her Creole language and blew something at the window, and Kushmal disappeared. Junior passed out.